You're probably thinking about starting an OnlyFans agency, or you currently run an OnlyFans agency, but you want to know what it takes, what sort of structures it takes to have a six-figure OnlyFans agency, what sort of team members do you need to have, what is the profit margins on it. You want to have a bit of an inside look in terms of another agency doing at least six figures yearly revenue from an agency. So my name is Henry. I run a six-figure OnlyFans agency. I've been running an agency for the last 6 to 12 months, around 8 months, so to speak. I've had different iterations of the agency, and now we're at the six-figure mark, meaning we earn over $10,000 a month in servicing OnlyFans creators. So in this video, I'm going to give you an inside look in terms of how my agency is currently set up, what our future plans are with the agency, the sort of team members we have currently now, the sort of team members you may want to have if you have goals to become a six-figure OnlyFans agency, what team members should you be investing in, how to set up the team, etc, etc. So this video is going to be a very solid one in terms of what's actually working in terms of an OnlyFans structure for an agency. This is not going to be any fluff. I'm going to show you a breakdown of how I set up my team currently. So from what team members, whether we're paying staff for traffic, whether we're paying VAs, how many VAs, what we're paying chatters, etc, etc. I'm actually going to show you spreadsheets. I'm going to show you how I train up my team and important things to know. So starting out, and I talk about this on future videos, if you are currently not earning at least $5,000 a month or $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you don't have 1 or 2 creators, forget hiring staff. Literally click off this video. Maybe you just want to watch it just to understand the future steps when you get to that point. But don't focus on building a team. Don't focus on actually building an agency before you don't have certain skill sets. So if you're on not even 1 or 2 creators you're working with, if you're not earning a revenue of $3,000 to $5,000 a month with these creators, literally click off this video and I'll see you on another one. But if you are past that stage, then again, it will make sense for you to start hiring some team members. So what are the first team members that you want to hire? So it depends. And that's why I say don't hire staff before you've actually had, let's say, 30 days doing things for yourself and trying to get those first creators, trying to actually start to generate traffic, trying to understand the chatting, the account setup. And I've got other videos in terms of how to actually set up your account, how to price, how to chat, etc. But learn these skills yourself. Learn how to drive traffic and all these things yourself before you start to actually hire on stuff. And the important thing of actually doing this yourself for the first 30 days, not only do you understand what you're good at, what the best thing for you to focus your time on, whether that's you're amazing at traffic, you're amazing at chatting, you want to make sure that, again, you understand your strengths and as well as your weaknesses in this sort of realm. So say you've had 30 days, you've got your first couple creators and you're delivering services for them. What is the best role that you want to hire first off? So again, first of all, I've got a little training in terms of how to find out what you're best at, how to find out what your weaknesses are. But let's say you know that, okay, chatting for now is not your strong point. If you know for now chatting is not your strong point, or it just takes out too much energy from you, the first role you hire for is going to be a chatter. So I would say the 2 roles that you want to hire first for are either VAs to automate your traffic process or a chatter, and it just depends on what you find most fulfilling and what your strong points are. So in full context, for my agency, I believe the first role that I hired for was a chatter, because we're working at the point I started hiring was a bit too late and we had too many accounts that I was managing personally and doing the chatting for. So I hired a chatter first of all. 1 chatter is still with us, and we currently have 2 chatters at our agency, which I'll talk about in a further section of the video. But again, if chatting is your weak point, make sure you hire a chatter first of all. And you can find chatters on Upwork.com, Telegram groups, or maybe you have a network of people who just want to try their hands at this. Again, I've got guides on chatting that you can give to them and train them up in terms of actually generating results. So that's one thing handed off. The second role you want to hire for is, again, if it's a chatting person in the first role, you want to hire somebody to automate your traffic process. So the second hire, for example, in my agency, we have a VA that takes care of Reddit. So Reddit is going to be a good one for somebody starting out, and you can get a VA to automate that process, save up your time, yet you're generating subs every single day from a process that works. So that is going to be potentially your second hire at your agency. And now with those 2, I would say with just those 2, with a chatter that is freeing up your time, as well as somebody to automate a portion of your traffic process, you can get to 10K a month and literally already be a six-figure agency. So that is literally all you need. And again, for VA, you can hire them on Upwork. Just give them a process in terms of what works. Watch my Reddit videos if you want to know a process for Reddit, and pass that on to VA, and there you go. But in terms of how my agency is currently set up, again, we've got a few more staff because again, I want to make sure that we are delivering such a top-notch service for our creators that the results are blown other agencies out of the water. And again, I'm thinking long-term with this. So we've got an account manager at the moment. I'm not going to say the exact numbers that I pay every staff member out of respect for them, but we've got an account manager that, again, let me just put it this way, it's below $1,000 that I pay her a month. And what her responsibility is to take care of every creator that we work with. Again, we've got a Telegram group with every creator that we're in. She has to make sure that they're onboarded properly in our agency. Communication is on point with the creator. If we need content from her or a traffic team needs content, she gets that from the team or the creator. She's basically the link between our agency and the creator. She's responsible for training the creator in terms of our process and so on and so forth. So that is the account manager. So we've got an account manager. We've also got sort of my traffic manager. He's responsible for making sure all the traffic elements, whether it's dating sites, Tinder and Bumble, whether it's Reddit, whether it's tube sites, all the processes are working together, and we're able to generate our targets for creators with that. So traffic manager, again, I pay him around $1,000 a month. Then I've got a chatter, again, 2 chatters actually, and on, let's say putting what we give both of them together, it's around $1,200 per month for now. So that is already about, let's say $2,500 or $3,000 that I pay the team. And then finally, we just got a VA that takes care of making sure that all the other processes, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Reddit, she has the process in place, and she's making sure she's posting the videos, posting the content on Onlyfans, posting the content on Reddit. And literally that is freed up my time as an agency owner, so that I can make sure all the other segments of the agency are working, so I can onboard more creators or get more creators if we're looking to scale up, and so I can make sure each element is performing the best of its ability. So whether that is the chatting is not quite getting what we want, I'm responsible for making sure we develop systems in place to improve on that. I'm responsible for making sure that if the traffic is not quite where we want or we want to improve it, I'm finding new traffic sources. I'm also, even though I've got the traffic manager in place there, I'm making sure, at least at the point that I'm at now, and again, this can change in a future video, but I'm making sure that all those elements are set up and my agency just going forward. So as I'm making this video, we're at about $12,000 in revenue, currently around $12,000 to $13,000. When I make a next update video, hopefully the agency is around $20,000 or $30,000 in revenue. In terms of my sort of projection, that should be between the next 1 to 3 months. So again, hopefully I have another update in 1 to 3 months from you in terms of how my team has really helped me and helped us get to where we wanted. A final note, if you want to think long term with this, you also want to have a good culture in place. So we have in our agency certain principles and certain values that each team member has got to uphold. As part of the hiring process, I also make sure they're good fit, culture fit for the agency. And also you want to make sure you have a training portal at the agency, so people have, so there's also SOPs and processes in place for every team member that you take on. So if, again, you're learning the process, whether from watching these videos or you're actually implementing yourself, put together a sort of training library for everyone at the agency to watch processes and watch things in place. I have a future video on in terms of what goes into creating the best processes, but you can see here again we have an Airtable. I'll showcase a screen share video where on the Airtable we can literally go in and see whichever process it is in the agency. You can click on there, you can access the SOP. With the SOP, we've got videos, we've got images, we've got text to make sure it's really easy to understand every process at the agency. And then also we've got end of day reporting that every person at the agency has got to do. So at the end of the day, everyone at the agency reports in an internal Telegram group that's just there for reporting. We report in terms of how much what tasks they've had for the day, and there's core tasks that everyone has to do in terms of your role. We make sure you report on, first of all, what date it is, what is the core task that you did, what is your rating of your performance for the day. We do that every single day with every member of staff. And then we've also got a wins channel that, again, we share our wins just to keep culture high at the agency. So hope this gives you an understanding of what it takes to actually have a six-figure agency, the roles that you maybe have to hire for, and gets you thinking about this. So hopefully you can grow a six-figure agency, and six-figure Onlyfans agency. So if, again, you are growing an agency, let me know in the comments if you're currently started on your journey. If you're not, what is holding you back? Let me me know in the comments below. This is a look at the training library that we have inside of the agency. Again, we put together these processes over time in terms of what's working on each of these processes. Either myself or a manager has put this together inside of our agency. And what this is going to allow you when you put together a library like this is going to allow anyone that you hire, any task that you want to outsource, anything you want to take off your plate, it's very easy for somebody to just come inside here and just be able to implement on the exact process that you want and free up your time, which again is what you want. You don't want to get caught up in being the cog in the wheel, having to be the sort of person in place that needs to implement, because as you scale and as you actually want to focus on what you're best at, you want to make sure you have people in place to do that. So I'll just show you again what it looks like. You can do something, an equivalent like this in Google Documents, or you can do this in any sort of database that works for you, but Airtable works well for us to set this up. I like the layout, and it works really well for us. So by the way, if you want access to this entire training library that we use inside of my personal agency, you can just message me on Telegram or ask in the free group that I have below. Not a blog, but I have a free Telegram group below. So just either ask in there or just send me a message on Telegram and I will let you know how you can get access to this entire library. So again, just looking at the library here, for example, I can just come into Reddit traffic generation. Again, this will show you how to post on Reddit. This is the department at the agency. You can just click on here and we've got a SOP that is going to break down exactly how to do this. So this, for our Reddit specialists inside of the agency, they can just see, okay, this is the video training here. We click here, we've got the video training as well. So anyone that wants to implement on Reddit here has got the full video in terms of implementing on Reddit inside the agency. We've also got the KPIs that they need to hit, low performance, medium performance, etc. And then we've got everything just put inside here. So we've got everything inside the SOP, as I said, the video as well. And then we've got, of course, the exact steps that we use in order to get the result for our creates. I'm not going to actually go through the entire process here because this video is not on Reddit, but you can kind of see how we have everything laid out here. We can do the same thing for example, TikTok traffic generation. We've got chatting guides. Again, if we want to come here, this is the chatting department at the agency. We can come inside here. Again, we've got video training on every aspect, whether it's building relationships, sending mass messages, squeezing money from subscribers. We've got everything laid out here. So you can come here, again, we've got the video trainings, everything that we need to know. So you can see how we've, even for posting on the Onlyfans feed, everything literally to the T is laid out here. And you want to have something similar for yourself at your agency. Find out the processes that work for you, or get processes from somebody like myself, and then you can pass this on to people, hire people, save up your time to save your time and also make more money essentially at your agency.